we're going to see how to build a hen classification with four different categories of classification using Vision. We can classify nothing or a rock, a paper, or a scissor. I mean, the gestures used for rock, paper, scissors game. Okay. First of all, we need a dataset that need to be made like this. Two folders, one for the training with all the classes with the images, and one for the test with the same classes. We need to open the CreateML app, select where we will create a new ML project document. In this case, is an image classifier text, and we can call it an classifier. Okay, click next. We can save in desktop and we can create. Later, we have to choose the training data. It is the training folder. It will automatically load all the images and understand how many classes we have. Later, we can select now or later, or is optional, the test folder for validate our input. Needs to be the same structure. Select the maximum number of iterations, and then we can train the model, and we now have only to wait for the CreateML app to generate our model. Okay, now that is completed and tested, we have the model. This is our model, so we can export doing this, and we can rename in only and classifier ML. Okay, we can close the CreateML app, and we can create a new Xcode project. Right here, okay. For our purpose, we are going to create a single view iOS app. We're going to name it and classifier, and so and you're going to use storyboard. Okay. Next, we can save in next desktop. And this is our app. So basically, we are going to do an app with only for now a label. We can make it bigger. We can center and make larger. You can center text and set to translate mask into constraint. Okay. Now we're going to import the model that we've created before, simply dragging and dropping in the project. And now we have to start code. The library that we're going to use are import AV foundation and AV kit for the camera and vision for the camera and the image processing and vision for the machine learning. We have to create an enum that represent the gestures that we are going to use for adding the label. We have four cases. Okay, and then we can start coding. First thing that we have to do is, before we forgot, to connect the output label. So control click, uh, we can call just a label. And then we have to set up the camera function. For the camera function, we are going to first of all prepare the camera, and then we have to begin session, but all all things need to happen in an extension that we are going to prepare. Okay, we need to extend our view controller in an AV capture video dot output simple buffer delegate, and we need to implement uh, one function that I'm going to copy and paste, that is from Apple, for the orientation, and a function for prepare camera, a function for begin session, and a function for capture the output that we have to override. Okay. Preparing the camera means that we have to select which camera we have to enable. So we can do like this. First of all, okay. So we have to select here the device that we are going to use. So we are going built-in wide angle camera. Maybe media type we have a read, because we will continue capturing images. In the position we are going to use this time the front camera. Okay, and we need the devices. Okay, we select the first, but we need to first select First, use some variables that we are going to declare here in the class after the label. Devices for the camera and devices for the region. For the camera, we need a capture session. We need a capture device that will not be null. And then we need a device position that we can initialize in front. For region, for now, we need requests the requests. Later on, we'll be focused more on vision. Okay, so back to our functions. We need to set the capture device as equals to available devices dot first. So we pick up only one camera that the iPhone have for now, and then we have to continue to begin the session. Beginning the session means that we have to start capturing images and then pass these images to vision for analyze. So we need a do catch. What we have to do, we have to select the capture device input. That is our capture device. Later we have to begin the configuration. So capture session dot begin configuration and set the preset, because we can capture in different formats and resolutions. So we select HD definition. Uh, Later we have to set the data output to be equals to AV capture video data output. And then configure this. I've copied and pasted this. Depends on which device you're going to use. I'm copying pasting for avoiding mistakes. And then we do not care about saving the frames. So data output dot always this correlate video frames equals to. So we are avoiding problems with memory because we're not saving after the capture, because we care about real-time captures. Okay, when we capture a video we can analyze it, and then we don't care about storing this. Let's just to check if we can add output. So if capture session that can add output, data output. If we can, we add this output, data output, and then we have to commit this configuration. uh, and then we are going to set this configuration to run this configuration into a queue that is not the main queue. We have to set this buffer delegate, that is self, and then add this to the queue. Okay. And then we start running the capture session. Oh, I forgot to add an input here. Okay, then everything should work fine. We can configure the simple buffer. So we have to get let pixel buffer, CMS. Later we have to configure the orientation with the function that I've copied passed before this one. Then select uh, the handler. Okay. No, exif orientation. Okay. Later, we need only to perform the image request sender. So do try image request sender dot perform self.requests and then catch errors, and we for now are going to only print this. So the camera is completed. The camera part we have only to call in the view did appear the prepare camera function. Now we can work on vision and set up vision because we have to analyze the um, captured images and classify that. So we're going to need an uh, and the classification that is going to process a request. These are VN request and an optional error and return nothing. So let's start uh, wrapping our vision model. So guard let uh, vision model that we have created uh, that is try VN core ML model for is named and classifier ML dot model else we return. Okay, so let classification request, we have to request we need a model and a completion handler. The model is our vision model, the completion handler is our handler classification request and error. Last thing that we need to do is that classification request dot image crop and scale option. We are going to send to crop this image in because we are going to maintain the same region. Now we're going to scale to fill our image and then self dot requests will be equal to our classification request. Okay, now we have to handle the classification. So we need to guard let observations equals request dot results, and so we return if we when we if we do not have any result, we return some and maybe we can print for the bug before no results. Later we have to classify the observation. So observation observations because for the one, and we can make some uh, edit some changes on the uh, observation. So we can first of all we can sort by confidence. So pick the most confidence before can um, combat map, so we can transform as a VNC classification observation. We need to do this in a closure. We can filter by confidence, need to be less than half. We can sort by confidence, and we can map, because we after need only the identifier. Then we can print in the console the classifications and see what is going to happen. Let's see, I'm running on my iPhone. First of all, I forgot before compiling that we need to access to the camera, so we have to uh, privacy, camera user description. We have to fill this in our InfoPlist file for hand for hand recognition. So we can go back to our view controller. Then we can try and see if it's working. Obviously it's not working because I forgot to call this setup vision function. Okay, now it's working. It's recognizing my hands. I open hand, nothing. Open hand, okay. Okay, so it's working fine, the classification. Now we have only now to adjust how we are going to set up to update label and do other cool stuffs.